Welcome to Season 1 of the PMO Community podcast series, where we are getting a deep dive on an exciting journey into the dynamic world of PMO leadership through our distinctive book writing challenge. Throughout this session, we are thrilled to present insightful interviews with our esteemed book authors. And today, I am delighted to have a conversation with Milan Dordevic, Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer, whose profound dedication to project, product, program, and portfolio management illuminates his career path over 15 years. Milan is a seasoned expert in innovation and technology project leadership, holding the position of president at the PMI Phoenix chapter, alongside possessing both an MBA and a Master's of Science degree. In this episode, we will delve into a myriad of crucial topics with Milan, ranging from leveraging technology in PMO evolution, cultivating innovation, and the nuances of leadership and vision in project management. So to intricacies, alignment, and business strategy, and overcoming resistance to change. And additionally, we will explore the pivotal role of a Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer in today's ever-evolving landscape of project management. So join us and we unravel these essential themes that are reshaping the landscape of project management. Without further hesitations, let's dive in. Hi, Milan. Thank you very much for joining me today.
Hi, Ina. Nice to have you.
So, Milan, I have the first question for you. So we are doing this podcast regarding to the book, The Evolution of the PMO race of the Chief Project Officer. And what made you say yes to my request to contribute the chapter with this book?
So even though I look young, I have some kind of years of experience, and I'm willing, as I'm contributing also locally here to project management chapter in Arizona in Phoenix, but also in chapter in Europe, in Serbia. I like to contribute and give it back to the community. So I want to share and maybe some words and experience or pitfalls that I had, maybe that can impact someone, and maybe someone can learn something from it, how to do it or how not to do it. So that was the main reason, and definitely I couldn't say no to you.
Thank you, Milan. And I also know that you just been recently promoted to the Chief Strategy and Innovation Officer. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
Could you tell us a little bit about your role and how is it different from a regular project management or portfolio management role?
So yes. So I would say this is the next step, or this is a future, or this is how at least I see moving forward with the PMO or moving forward with the project management role. Because project management in general is focused on the project itself, or delivering programs, or you can surround that as a portfolio, and the PMO is there to serve or to implement that, or to implement frameworks, methodologies, delivery, and to take everything, make sure that everything is happening and happening in the right order. But moving forward, thinking about the future and thinking how all that should exist and should look like in next 5 years, on 10 years, is coming to the strategy level. So it's strategic management. So it's pretty much the same, just thinking forward a little bit. So put your project and all your activities that you're doing right now and think about them with all the changes that are happening around us, either with competitors, especially with technology and AI, and then think, will that impact somehow your activities, your projects, your people, knowledge in organization, resources that you have, budget, financing, and everything else within 5 or 10 years? If it will, then you need to come back to the moment that we are right now and what changes you're going to do right now so you can be in a better position and the whole organization can be in a better position in 5 years, on 10 years.
Thank you, Milan. And I really like the part of your role is that you're the innovation officer. And unfortunately, I don't know many organizations who embraced innovations and even created specific roles for that. So I know you just started your role, but do you have any initiatives already or any strategies which helps you to implement the innovation to foster the culture inside the organization? And how do you measure success of this initiative?
So that's really, really interesting one. So innovation, some organizations have like a role, chief scientist officer or something like that. From my perspective, I think that's the smartest person in the organization, probably because he's chief scientist, but that's not the case in this situation. Me, as a chief of strategy and innovation, I want to create an environment where people can be the most creative, where ideas can be born, where ideas can be implemented. And when all together we can create with a synergy, we can create something more. So activities of implementing innovation is, again, thinking forward and creating the environment where everybody can thrive. So environment where everybody can flourish and where they are embraced to start small change. Small change is starting with a person in some department, in some team, who is down there working on some small activity project and who thinks that he is just one small piece and not very important for the company. So that's the mindset that I want to change. I want to change the mindset that every single one in this company can contribute and can be impactful and can create something new. So when I succeed in that, then we're going to go to the next step where we're going to create what we already started working on, internal hackathons, internal activities where they can show innovation they can create. That innovation doesn't need to be related to the product only. I'm open and I'm creating the kind of open door strategy, open door activity in organization where everybody can say, I think that this process can be tweaked. Why we are not doing this activity or this process in a little bit different way? And I think that we can do this one a little bit different if we approach or utilize certain technology, or we utilize this activity or skip this step or add this step. So any single department is and should be innovative in changing and improving their own activity. So if we go back to the OKRs and how we can measure that one, so an example for my teams and departments in organization, we have everything that each organization, starting from the top of the strategy, OKRs, delivery for the whole organization, and by department, by team, by person. All of them can be focused on what they actually need to deliver, which is tangible value of delivery, which is certain project activity, whatever it is. But also, I'm forcing them to create something kind of OKR on all 4 levels that they will help them to be better tomorrow than they're today. So what they're gonna do, what activities they're gonna implement or start working on? Is it learning some new language, learning some new activity, reading some books and then sharing with the team, or learning anything that they can that will help them to sharpen their skills that they can utilize directly or indirectly at the work or in their relationship or whatever, but it will make them either to be more focused, proactive, happy, and everything else. So it can be measurable at the end. So those are parallel OKRs which they can measure, and they need to define those. So we are starting those ones from the very bottom on the personal level. So how you can be better next year than you are today? Tell me and write that one. Write that one as your goal. That's your goal. You're defining it. And let's chat next year, 6 months, and let me know how an organization can support you so you achieve that goal. And every movement that they do will definitely be better than doing nothing. So, and that's embracing the change, creating the culture of innovation, and starting from the person at the lowest level. And then what we can do as a team, what we can do as a department, and then in the end that will reflect in the organization itself. When you have that mindset, that's definitely impacting the future of the organization and everybody inside or around it. Sorry for the long answer.
No, brilliant. I really like this future vision and future orientation, how to be better in 6 months or in 1 year.
Yeah.
I do it on my own in my
definitely, yeah. And probably you're using some tools. There are plenty of tools that we can use either on a personal level or organizational level for that, how you can track your personal goals and your productivity and learning some new skills.
Yeah, and it's definitely great that organization is worried about my skills and also provides me this knowledge and technology and everything, and embrace my growth rather than forcing me to stay in the same position, because some leaders might consider that I'm already great at what I'm doing, so why would we grow our skills? Let's keep you here at the same level. I'm really pleased that you don't do this. Implement strategy and innovation, and even Machiavelli back in time told that this is one of the most ungrateful things and the most challenging things which the leaders do for their people. So what are some main challenges you anticipate facing in your role? Pretty
much every day is interesting, and every day is bringing something new. But it's always, I will start with that one. Definitely resistance to change is always the first one that we already mentioned, that people are kind of afraid of change, because they don't know how that will impact them. Everybody loves change, but they don't love change if the change will impact them somehow. And that communication with them, explaining the benefit of the change and where they're in that process. And definitely, I think that could shake them a little bit. And that's shaking them a little bit, open eyes, change mindset a little bit, And if someone doesn't like that, that's a sign for both of us that we are not in the same team and that we are not playing in the same direction. But there is a small percent of that. I think a lot of people embrace that and I said, okay, now I understand, now I get it. So that's a lot of conversation that I have with a lot of people, because I'm I don't know, I want to implement every single day some change. So because I see, maybe that's my I don't know, zodiac or whatever it is, because I see those small things that always can be tweaked and always something can be even a little bit better, but I'm not forcing that over some, I don't know, edge. So I want to create a process. I want to have consensus. I want to have a team who will implement that and definitely measure cost and benefit of implementing certain change. So having people understand change, having conversation with them, explaining the future and benefit, because that's a storytelling. That's the something that every single leader needs to do and explain how you see future. Because if that is not communicated to the organization, they don't understand the value that they are bringing to the organization. They're not coming there only just to do their job and get salary. No, they need to understand that they are building something. And that storytelling, explaining them how every single person is contributing to it and understanding what are the goals and how the activity of each of them is bringing brick by brick and building the temple. But they're not bricklayers. They're building the temple. It's nice to see. And it's, for me, it's a little bit challenging, but definitely I enjoy it. And I like it to share with the people, sharing the vision in which we're going. And especially if you have results and then see these results, because those changes need to be small at the beginning. They need to see results of every single change. As soon as they see it, they are a force who will be continuing and implementing that change moving forward.
How critical is the alignment of PMO evolution with business strategy? And can you provide some examples of how this misalignment can impact the organizational effectiveness?
Yeah. So PMO I will not say, definitely play a crucial role in each organization. And whatever role or whichever level PMO is in the organization, departmental PMO, enterprise PMO, or any kind of a PMO in organization can impact some of the projects, programs, portfolio, or global strategy of the organization. If there is misalignment in that can definitely impact not only the results of the certain projects or responsibility of the PMO, but also can impact the goals that the organization is striving to. So I would say that misalignment can happen in two cases, most common two cases. If the PMO is advancing, or PMO is the change maker, and it's adopting new frameworks, changes that are not still synced with the strategy on the other side. That means the strategy of the organization is outdated. So the information is not going bottom to the top. And that's one of the causes of misalignment. The other one is where PMO can be either young, or PMO is either too mature, that is not completely, because of the bureaucracy, or it's huge, they cannot implement and cannot impact every single side of their activities. If the strategy is not aligned with the PMO itself, that means the PMO is not implementing whatever is defined by the strategy. So PMO can have some projects that to deliver or has some goals, but those goals are not contributing what's defined in the strategy. So I think that misalignment is something that can be definitely easily noticed by the leaders of the organization. And there are plenty of activities that can be performed to avoid that.
Yeah, thank you, Milan. And you mentioned change a few times while you were answering my question. So I would like to ask you about the resistance to change. And I believe from my experience, it also can be a major obstacle.
Yeah.
Could you share some successful strategies for overcoming this resistance within the organization?
Yeah. So the change, there is the only constant in the world, and that's change, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever we do, change will happen with us or without us. And people are, by default, resistant to change because they think that change will impact them in a negative way. So what are the actions that some of the leaders, whoever is in the charge of implementing the change, or any manager in an organization, needs to create the sense of the urgency for the change. So I would say that's the first step. So urgency, but not like creating the panic mode or panic way, oh, we need to change immediately or we're going to die. No, in the business manner, business way, explaining what are the benefits of the change. So I would say creating that urgency, the first step. The second step is communication. So communication need to be bidirectional. So with every change that is implementing need to be communicated properly on every single level within the organization, and the same way going backwards. So that we're coming with the third step, which is incorporating or involving all stakeholders. Every single one who can be impacted by the change or who can impact that change need to be involved in that communication or the process of the planning and implementing change. So when they are involved, they can definitely contribute and they can definitely help in implementation or planning of the certain change, but also with the understanding that they will get, the resistance will be much lower, and they will embrace the change and help its implementation.
You also mentioned that PMO has been changed in the last 30 years drastically. So my question is going to be about leadership and vision, because I assume it changed as well. So again, about the PMO. So in the context of PMO evolution, how important is the adaptive leadership and strategic vision, and also how can these qualities be cultivated?
So PMO definitely, as both of us are aware, changed a lot. So if PMO is not, again, positioned very, very high on the organizational structure, so that means the PMO cannot impact or cannot be decision maker or ultimate decision maker. What I experienced when I became chief project officer for the first time, I created PMO, I was head of PMO, and then I elevated the importance of the PMO on the board level. That was the first time that I did that, and that was definitely big change, because the organization, if the organization is project focused, if delivery of each project is directly impacting the revenue, and that's a business, that they are core business of the organization, the PMO drastically needs to incorporate all values of the organization. Definitely, PMO needs to lead that organization and need to have impact in every single aspect of the organization. So that means that PMO is not one office. Let's call PMO as a virtual office, because it should encompass all the activities happening in organization, focus on delivering some value. And that value will change during time. Maybe the goals of organization will change. Maybe project will change. So PMO needs to be the change maker. PMO need to be adoptable. PMO need to be the one who will be embracing that change, but also PMO need to change itself. So PMO is not filling the papers, the templates, and providing the templates. PMO is adopting as well. PMO is growing, and I would say, maybe this is a bad word, but I would say PMO is company in the company. So need to have all knowledges that organization need to have to embrace. So now, how I see PMO, or how I see PMO in the future going forward, and especially the same organization that I'm leading, is that PMO is impacting every single part of the organization, and PMO is there either to support them, to give them everything what they need so they can deliver their goals and deliver. That will, at the end, impact strategic objectives if the organization have defined one, like OKRs or something like that, and deliver the value of the whole organization. I don't know if I succeed to answer. I was going from all the directions and sides.
Absolutely. And since it's already started looking into the future and talking about OKRs, so could you expand a little bit more on what are the key areas of focus for PMOs to ensure that they continue to add value to the organization?
So speaking about OKRs, so OKRs or KPIs, different measures, measuring different things, either results or how we are adopting or changing. So I think that PMO should be the leader of implementing both. And PMO, not only the leader, should be the one who is maintaining that, who is embracing that, and who is responsible for making sure that every single team department is living with those values. So that should become the culture of the organization. So the OKRs, or objective and key results, is something that organization is defining on the highest level by having information with all other levels in organization. And this is something, as I mentioned at the beginning of our conversation, need to be actively communicated through all levels, and having the backwards to the impacting the OKRs itself. So if the OKRs should be focused on the future, and OKRs should bring something new to the organization, something in which direction organization should go and how they see themselves. All those, and of course, should be somehow measurable, so we know did we achieve that or not. So it's not purely delivering project or delivering or meeting that triangle. You remember that one, project management? So cost, scope, and quality and time. So, but also need to bring some additional value to it. So if we are expecting to deliver on time, within the budget, and satisfied client with the quality and within time, we did one, I would say, aspect of delivery. But if it's not that, if that is not aligned with the strategic goal of organization, that is not contributing to either innovation of the organization or adopting changes or moving organization forward. So for organizations who are projectly focused, will continue just delivering project by project, but they will not innovate themselves. They will not embrace any new knowledge. They will not embrace any new talent. So that's the reason why alignment with the OKRs and strategic goals need to exist. And the role of that integrator is within the PMO. And that can be called PMO or can be called with any other name, but definitely that needs to exist in one or the other way.
Thank you, Milan. And I cannot stop myself from asking about the leveraging technology and especially artificial intelligence. So how do you see the integration of artificial intelligence and maybe data analytics? How to save the future of PMOs, and what should organizations focus on to stay competitive nowadays?
So the role of the PMO changed drastically, I would say, in the last 30 years. So since I first time implemented PMO, that was definitely different from the PMO that I'm leading or I'm seeing right now, especially because of technology change that happened in the meanwhile. Now we all see that AI is a buzzword. Everybody's using AI and everybody are trying to use AI, but definitely AI can be utilized not only in the PMO, but should be utilized through the whole organization. It should be utilized in every single activity where we can speed up process, where we can augment the current processes or activities to get additional benefits, where we can, instead of using manual activities or people or calculating certain things, definitely AI and digitalization can speed up. Integrating PMO with certain project management tools, CRM, ERP, utilizing Internet of Things, depending on which industry they are, for supply chain or any other type of sensors or inputs that we can get from certain devices, from certain activities, can help us to create data-driven decision-making. That's at the end coming to creating business intelligence as the foundation of the decision-making for the PMO. As faster we have the information, faster we can make certain decision. So what was the change? You remember traditional project management and agile. So what's fostering agile? Fast collaboration, fast communication, and if you need to fail really fast and do it immediately. So as soon as you have the right information, you can make the right decision and you can continue. So definitely AI, for now, I definitely see a lot of advantages of the AI. Hopefully we'll not see all negative impacts or effects of the AI in the near future. Thanks, Aiden. Thanks for all questions. So great questions.
Absolutely. Thank you, Milan, for spending your time and sharing your knowledge with us. Hope to see you in our future podcasts, and have a beautiful night.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
Thank you for tuning in to the PMO Community Podcast for this enlightening discussion with Milan Dordevic. Stay tuned for more captivating insights and interviews in our upcoming events.